Good morning, Art Talk listeners of the Art Experience, and here with the Money Man. And I am super excited this morning. I have Norma Jean Abram. Is she on the phone, Raleigh? Okay. Well, we have Dan. We have a really interesting speaker that's going to be on the phone any moment with us, and she has been part of the Abraham Foundation, which is her father, Anthony Abraham. They have been charitable. Their 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 family tradition is always giving back to the community. Actually, her father was the founder of St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And so that left a great example for the kids. And for the last past 3 decades, they have been always involved in helping the community. So I believe we're going to have Norma Jean Abram, who is an institution for Miami. I actually call her the daughter of Miami. So good morning, Norma Jean.
Good morning, Susana.
Were you laughing when I send out the email blast, daughter of Miami?
Yes, you're making me feel ancient. I'm not old, people.
No, she's not. You could Google her name and her pictures will come up. She's a gorgeous, gorgeous hot mama still. Very, very beautiful lady inside and outside. And I have to tell you, your father, which, and please correct me if I'm wrong, was one of the founders of the St. Jude Children's Hospital.
You had that right. He was. It was a group of Lebanese men with Danny Thomas, who's also Lebanese, and a group of men from Miami and Chicago that started this wonderful cause.
And with that said, he really led the family, including you, a shining example of giving back to the community. Because it's an understatement to say that your charity work that you do in the community is endless. I mean, that's an understatement. It's like a family tradition. The Abraham tradition is charitable, always working, always part of these wonderful organizations. Tell us a little bit of our audience. What got you? I mean, seeing your father, but you've really taken it. I mean, some people say, okay, I have a shining example. I follow, up to a point, but you really are so involved with so many causes. And what really led you to continue that role and in such an active way?
Well, the thing is, my father wasn't born rich. He was born poor, and he promised himself in the Lord that he would give back to churches, schools, education, and children. So that started as a foundation when he got successful with the Abraham Chevrolet. And then it just went on from there. St. Jude started, and my mom became a socialite, and she was a philanthropist, and she got involved with the arts and many organizations in Miami. And when she passed on, it was passed on to me because my other siblings, they don't live in Miami. Only my younger brother and I live in Miami. So we took on the responsibility, the obligation, and the right to do this because we were also blessed. We were both adopted in Beirut, Lebanon, brought over here by these Lebanese parents and taken care of and very, very well taken care of. So I feel blessed, and I feel like it's my duty. I feel that everybody who has money should give back. I just feel that it's our right to do that. That's why we made money, so that we could help others other than just ourselves.
Well, I have to tell you, Dan Frischberg, who is the money man and is generous to give us this segment once a week to talk and empower the arts in the community, always asks me a question. And I know, Dan, you're going to love to ask this one to Norma Jean because she is one of the biggest art collectors. And one of the things with Norma Jean is, besides sitting in these boards and always making sure there's that art element, every single artist, when they see Norma Jean walk into the room, they lay the red carpet, they try to go in, because she's somebody who supports the art. She'll always buy art. She loves buying stuff. So this is a question, Dan, that I think you might want to ask Norma Jean. What makes you, when you buy art, do you buy it for investment? And if you do, how do you know it's a good investment? That's, Dan, you're always asking that. So
I don't feel that it's an investment. I enjoy it.
You enjoy it.
Because I like it. It has to be something that I like. I like fun art. I like pop art. I don't like all the drama art. I don't like scenery. I like things that tell a story. And also I like supporting our local community, our local artists. Okay? I don't have Rembrandts and Picassos. I have Carlos Paca Navarro, Mimi Ferrer. I have art that people know in Miami.
Yes, you do. You do.
That's how I look at it. That's why I invest in art, because I want to support the community.
Absolutely. And I know that of you. I mean, I remember I went to your home and you have a beautiful collection of the Skull Sisters also that were phenomenal. In the Art Deco back in the 90s and 80s, the Skull Sisters, everybody would see them.
Yeah.
And so you have a phenomenal piece. And no, honestly, you really do. And one of the things, this is an investment show where we also talk about art and empowering it. But also, when you invest in the local community and as you follow them, and some of these artists will become eventually tomorrow the Picassos. We have such an epicenter here in Miami of arts and, the buzz in town with Wynwood and the Design District and now our own wonderful museum.
Hi, Norma Jean. I'm Alicia Frischberg. I'm one of the friends of Susana. And my question to you is, right now, what's catching your eyes in terms of art?
I like whimsical art. I like art that's got a little sculpture to it, a little 3D to it. I'm really, that's why I really enjoy the Skull Sisters. I'm looking for artists that can do portraits of me, of course, that look totally different. I like artists that go out there and have a message in their art. I love colors. I'm really into colors. Purple is my favorite color.
Yes, it is.
But I don't like things that are sad. I don't things like that are somber. I like things because we live in a world right now where we need an uplifting.
Sound like me. Everyone who says, let's go to a sad movie. I said, no, I have enough sad movie in my life. I don't need it.
Listen, we're going to be taking a commercial break, but I want you, when we come back, I want you to stay on the line because I understand you're doing something else for the community, but this time it's something with taste buds. I hear something happening. There's a buzz in town.
Yes, there is.
So stay on the line, Norma Jean. We're coming right back to hear what that new buzz that Norma Jean Abram is bringing to Miami. Hi, Art Talk listeners, the Art Experience. We're back on The Money Man with Norma Jean Abram. Are you still there with us, Norma?
Yes, I am. It's pronounced Abraham.
Abraham, sorry. So many years. And
Norma Jean, you said you were raised by your father who was poor. He must have shared with you, aside from giving you a good lifestyle and everything, what to do as a grown-up woman. Our audience wants to know, what did he share with you?
He shared the value of money. I've been working since I was out of high school. I've always learned to be able to survive. One day, you never know, there might not be money. So I've done every type of job there is out there. I've been a waitress. I've been a hostess. I've even worked for my dad, which was the worst thing to do. Because Dad, they don't give you a break. But I learned a lot from him. He's very meticulous. He's very perfectionist. So I learned that, first impressions are very important. How you present yourself, how you present what you're selling is very, very important. And so those are the things that I've learned, and I've kept them since till now.
Okay, here comes the money man.
Thank you.
He's coming in to ask you a question.
Yeah, my question, what the audience would like to know is, how did he build that fortune? How did he do it? What did he pass on to you about that? That's what people would love to know.
What he started with is advertising. In the beginning, in the 50s, nobody did this. He started in Chicago and in New York, where he sold ads to people, and that just boomed. Then he came to Miami and bought a Chevrolet dealership, made it small, then bought a body shop, then bought a parts department, and he decided he was going to do his own in-house advertising, his own in-house financing. When you learn to do everything on your own and bring it into your own business, once you've saved yourself a lot of money, and you've made a lot of money by doing that.
There are so many people in the advertising business is very broad. They generally don't become very wealthy. They just fight it out, Yeah, what did he do different?
Well, he also owned land. We were land developers. We bought a lot of property in the 50s. My dad had shopping malls. There used to be Granada Mall. There used to be one 125th Street Mall. So he has a lot of property, and that's where he made his money.
So he was a developer and he was always looking for good deals in land. And then with that, I remember when I got here in Miami in 1989, we came down for Jackson Memorial. Dr. Ralph Millard was being honored.
Yes.
Your father was being honored, as well as the Man of the Year for the contribution that he made for the economy and the growth that he did, as well, of course, St. Jude's Hospital. And it was amazing. I remember going down Lejeune, and he had all these big American flags in every dealership. And you would just see one American flag after another American flag. And he was, everything on Lejeune was Abraham.
He was a powerhouse, I got to say.
He was a powerhouse. He sold that dealership to Maroney, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, he leased it
He leased it to Maroney.
that we would have income.
Oh.
You never sell until you really, really can make a good deal. And nowadays, it's better off leasing. So we had a big leasing, long year term with them, but that's exposed, that's over with. And now we have sold the property to AutoNation.
Oh, okay. So you guys were the ones who did the deal with AutoNation.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for clarifying that, because all this time I thought that Abraham sold his car dealerships to Maroney when Maroney came in a big way and monopolized all the car dealerships with his name, Maroney Nissan, Maroney this. And I was saying, oh, well, they sold, and I didn't know that. Of course, I didn't research it, but that's an interesting thing to know, because you guys were the ones that did it with AutoNation, which was very smart.
And Maroon was also a Lebanese young man.
I love the story when you told me about how your parents went to Lebanon and wanted to adopt you right away, and you had your brother, so they adopt both brother and sister and brought it back to the United States, and that's such a great story. And your name, Norma Jean. I said to you one day, why did your parents pick Norma Jean, the name?
And I told you that the nuns did it. I was raised in an orphanage. I was considered a war baby in the 50s. So, and he wasn't my brother. He was like my buddy. And my parents came to Beirut to adopt a Lebanese baby. And it seemed like they weren't going to get one. They were going to get two of us. So they came and they adopted two of us at the ages of, I was 5 and Tommy was 6.
So you're so blessed.
I was very blessed and very lucky, to be out of Lebanon.
And to be exposed to that very wonderful wisdom. So when you make a decision, you stop and think, what would my father do?
Always.
That's great.
Now, looking forward to your new project.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I got a couple of projects.
Oh, wow.
Let's start.
Go right ahead, shoot.
I belong to a church called Our Lady of Lebanon Maronite Church. It's a Catholic church, and it's basically Lebanese and Middle Eastern people that come to this church. It's a beautiful church. I started a farmer's market because everybody loves Lebanese food, and we had a very successful one this last Sunday. It will be the last Sunday of every month for the summer for now. And we had all kinds of Lebanese food. The Lebanese ladies come in and they cook it: tabbouleh, hummus, cabbage leaves, kibbeh.
You're getting me hungry.
Okay, and all my friends they came and they bought and took out. That's all they wanted was the food.
Where would we go to see that this Sunday if we wanted to go to this farmer's market?
It's called Our Lady of Lebanon Church, 255 Coral Way.
Oh, nice. Yeah, right there in 20.
Named after my parents, Anthony and Genevieve Hall.
And so what's the next one?
The next one is I'm opening up a tea house.
Now, that's interesting. I heard that. You were telling me last time.
Tea is in now. Tea has been around, but it's actually in. It's cool. It's a trend. We went to a World Expo Tea in Long Beach, California, learned a lot about teas, met a lot of different people, went to a couple of tea houses here right in Florida, in Palm Beach, one in Delray Beach, and teas are happening. So we're coming on board. It's going to be a challenge with the Cubans and their Cuban coffee, but we're going to try.
Well, I think it's a good idea because honestly, there's such an influx of Europeans. And if you go to some of these coffee houses, they're now adding the tea lattes.
Exactly.
And I remember a couple of months ago, I was with Commissioner Spence Jones, and she turned me on to this a tea latte with, cappuccino, but with tea. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why, and when I had it, it was really very wonderful. I just thought of this tea flavor was going to be, but it wasn't.
Oh, no, there's all kinds. There's green tea, black tea, white tea, herbal teas. I mean, there's amazing flavors that you don't even know that exist. So you're all going to have to come to Serendip a Tea.
What?
Dip a tea.
Ah, I like it.
Okay, so if everyone wants to know where to find your work, how they find you?
How they
Find
find
Susana? Okay, go ahead.
They can find me on Facebook. They can email me, hipnormajean@yahoo.com.
hipnormajean@yahoo.com
Thank
or
you, Norma
Norma Jean
Jean.
Abraham. Just Google her, and she's all over Google. So thank you, Norma Jean, and lots of luck, and we'll see you soon.
Have a blessed day, girl.
You too. God bless you too. Okay, so we're back with Alicia Fishberg and Dan Fishberg and Susana Baker here from this segment, Art Talk on the Money Man. I'm really super excited because this week, Alicia, well, actually this month, we opened up our first visitor art concierge stands, one in Little Havana, and we're opening up next week 2 in Wynwood and 1 in the Design District. And these are very famous places, artistic places in Miami, Florida. And the Design District is known for very high-end design and fashion. The developer Craig Robbins brought that whole area back. It had fallen in the late 70s, a housing recession, coupled with President Carter signing with Fidel Castro the Mariel boat lift, which brought from April to August 125,000 Cuban immigrants. And so anyone with money left Miami. They were afraid that their housing values would drop. And so they just left the whole Design District, and all those beautiful shops became empty. Very few designers stood, including Dakota, which is the Design Centers of the America, which is in Fort Lauderdale, which is north of Miami. They were luring a lot of designers out. So that whole area became empty. And that was the era of the cocaine cowboys. That's when Miami was led by 2 Jewish brothers, basically. One owned a boat and one owned a plane. And the whole, all the police and everything got bought from the whole cocaine era. Everything came back in the 90s, and 3 developers made Miami come back in a big way. One was David Lombardi, Tony Goldman was a visionary, and Craig Robbins. All of these 3 developers were looking for warehouses to rent back to the beach because the square footage of South Beach and Miami Beach became so high that they knew that you only could build vertically or horizontally up to so many feet because everything's Art Deco and very protected. So they knew these hotels would need storage because storage on South Beach would be too expensive. So they went as close in proximity over the bridge to the mainland, which is Miami, and one went into Wynwood and the other went into the Design District. Craig Robbins ended up going into the Design District and saying to himself, wow, this looks a lot like Espanola Way, which is in Miami Beach. Beautiful, contained neighborhood, lots of charm, lots of history. And so he bought 18 blocks. And he fixed 1 block, and he went back to the Dakota and lured the designers one at a time by giving them a lot of amenities, free rent to some of them, just paying the utilities. Very smart kid. And he fixed a whole block, and he did this for a while. And in the 90s, the Food Channel was created, and people were able to see chefs for the first time cooking and follow the chefs. And Michelle Bernstein was an award-winning top chef, as well as Michael Schwartz. And Craig Robbins very intelligently invites them into the Design District to create a restaurant. And it was the first. So he started to do the design shops, mixed with art and these great chefs. And before you know it, now, as of last year, he signed on with Cartier, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Christian Louboutin. You have Emilio Pucci. And it's just amazing the high-end real estate that's happening in both retail and commercial, as well as over 10,000 condominiums are slated and a hotel, all within the next year. And that's in the design district, very high-end fashion and luxury. A few blocks down, which is about 10 blocks down, you have Wynwood, which has over 80 galleries full of art and the famous Wynwood walls. And that was the vision of Tony Goldman. Tony Goldman wanted to create a scene. He went for warehouses originally, and he did buy a lot of warehouses. He also bought, I think, about 20 blocks in Wynwood, the biggest developer in assemblage. And what he saw was that the warehouses had no windows, and so they looked like canvases. And he intelligently wanted to create an art epicenter by creating the largest street museum in the world. And he invited all these famous artists that were in fine arts and in museums, from the Guggenheim to the Tate to the Whitney, you name it, they were in it. And now they were older, they were in their 30s, they were in their 50s, and he flew them in from all over the world, from Japan, Eco from Japan. You have Logan Hicks, you have Shepard Fairey, Futura, Kenny Scharf, and he brought all these artists to each one take a wall and start doing a mural. And now you have the birth of 2009 Wynwood Walls, which brings hundreds of thousands of people per month into Wynwood now, when before you would not even go into those areas. They were very depleted. They were very, it was a ghost town. So these developers have built the wonderful Miami and the art scene. And so we just opened up visitors information centers there for people to come, ask any questions. And our tour raters, which is our tour guides and our curators for the art experience.
So this is Dan again, and I'm Dan Frischberg. This the Money Man Report is normally, see, my thing is I've got all these art enthusiasts that I have to buy food for, and so I'm thinking about what to do about this and how to create all this money for the art. And all I can tell you is the market's not cheap anymore, but I have a special 5-step trade sequence, and to pick my stocks along the supply chain and then figure out how to not only make the long-term investment but actually pull more profit out of it and reduce my risk right by safety zone. I've made an instructional training video that you can use to learn exactly what I was doing there and how to generate that extra 12.3% profit without adding to your risk. So if you are interested, Dan at themoneyman.com, and I'll get that video to you. And I thank you very much, Susana Baker. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, Susana Baker, theartexperiences.com for any information. And Dan, art has been very big in investment this year, so we look forward to it. And thank you, Money Man. Thank you, Lisa Frischberg and Dan. And if anyone wants to know more, you can follow me at theartexperiences@gmail.com or theartexperiences.com. Thank you so much. Have a fabulous artistic day.